Hello and welcome to Start the Beat with Sikes. My name is Sikes and this is my podcast. Before we get started, I just wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone who checked out last week's episode. If you're one of the people who listened to that conversation, I hope you enjoyed it and thanks so much for coming back. But for those of you out there who are new to the show, welcome! Please feel free to make yourselves at home. And as always, there's beer and soda in the fridge. Today we have a variety of beverages in the room. We have a Dogfish Head, Bitches Brew, we have some Rock Bottom Booty Base, and I am drinking some water because I am taking a beer break until Brutal Beer Fest.
October.
Which is next weekend. So it won't be much of a break. It's just, one of those things. Gotta do it every once in a while. Cleanse your body out. The balance, yin and yang. Anyways, I am here today with a couple awesome people in Pittsburgh. I wanted to have a conversation about business and art, monetizing your art, and making your business look better with the power of art and all of these things like that. And I'm here with, to my immediate left, local artist and badass, JOKTAN. Say what's up.
What's going on?
And to his left, the owner, operator, sorcerer of Apis Mead Winery in Carnegie, Pennsylvania. Do you say Carnegie or Carnegie?
I say Carnegie. I don't know. I think Carnegie. The guy's name was Andrew Carnegie, but
I've always heard that it's supposed to be pronounced Carnegie, but who knows?
Only in New York.
Only
here it's Pittsburgh. We pronounce everything wrong. Anyway,
yeah. North for sales.
Yeah,
shit
Versailles.
Like that.
It's French.
Yeah.
For Versailles.
Yeah. So I mentioned the topic today is business and art and how they could benefit each other. And where I want to start this conversation is because I know a lot of people that own different businesses in the city, restaurants, breweries of the like, and a lot of those places have great product, but they have a hard time getting out there because their branding is just shit. Like they have no visual element to what they're doing. And it really, a lot of people overlook that.
Sure.
And then it's kind of wild because we live in a city that's full of artists that are insanely talented, but like we were talking about earlier, might not be so good at marketing themselves or getting their art out there or knowing how to talk to people.
Sure.
So as JOKTAN, who's an artist that has worked with some local restaurants and things like that, and Apis, which is a place that has fucking killer branding and art on all their stuff, I wanted to have a conversation about how we can get these two worlds a little bit more linked up. And I will start this conversation with Dave, actually, because, you are the owner-operator of Apis, which has been open now for a few years, and you just opened up your new renovated location, right?
Yep. Yeah.
And when you were getting into opening up this business, how important was branding and getting this cool art for 100%. Your stuff?
That's 99% of it. I mean, if the liquid's there, which I already knew was there, people follow imagery no matter what. So if you see something that's appealing to you, you're going to run to it. If I'm going to put my wine on a shelf with world-class wine, it's only going to taste world-class. It's got to look even better than that wine. I want my stuff to stick out like a sore thumb. So I sourced an artist. I have a house artist to do exactly what I want in his style, but we're on the same page with that. I mean, that sticks out like a sore thumb. It has to.
Yeah, it's almost like if you've never seen a movie before, like what's your decision? Like, oh, what's the name of this movie? What's the poster look like? I guess,
Attack of the Killer Tomatoes only sold because of that poster, right?
You get the idea based off of that, right? So, but there's a lot of people I just think overlook the power of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And how important that is. And it really bums me out whenever there are people that I know that own restaurants and their branding is just, it just sucks.
There's a lot of people
try to do it themselves too because they want to save the costs. Maybe they don't want to pay an artist to come in and do stuff for them because
but then you don't have a cohesive look because you're not an actual artist or you didn't hire the correct artist or you didn't understand that concept of the marketing aspect of it,
But it's funny too. Like some people can get away with it. It was funny because when we're doing that beer with Maggie's Farm and Tim Russell, I was like asking about like, can we get your font, like for your logo for the poster and stuff. And he's just like, look, I just did it in Microsoft Word. Like this is the font and like, that's it. Like, so like he doesn't know, obviously there's like not much of a graphic design background, but he's still finding some way to make it work for him. So
I thought that was Bagaki doing all his stuff initially, Mark Bagaki.
I'm just talking about his logo and the font.
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe the art and stuff, what's going on with that, but it was really funny just the way like he was just so transparent. Like, look, I don't know what I'm doing. I just got Microsoft Word and
it looks clean though.
yeah.
That Queen Chair image is one of the coolest rum images on earth. Really.
Yeah. I'm sure that somebody did that. I don't know, but now JOKTAN with you, I found out about you through Black Forge. And, all the art. I mean, you had some really intense art on the walls, and then you did the art on the tables.
I appreciate that.
And then I remember being at like El Burro, and I saw you did stuff on the chairs at El Burro, right?
Yeah, I'm still working on the second location in Regent Square.
Yeah.
Got a couple things I got to finish in there.
So, like, how did you get linked up working with places like Black Forge and El Burro?
El Burro, I just pretty much, like, places like that and other restaurants, I would just pretty much go around and just ask them if they were interested in having a mural painted or something. And, if they say no, then it is what it is. You know what I mean? That's the worst that can happen, right?
Yeah.
That's what I tell artists all the time. Like the artists that I have met past couple years, they ask me, how did you be a full-time artist? I'm like, I'm not making a shit ton of money, dude, but like all you gotta do is go around and ask people, all they can tell you is no, But Black Forge was through Red Fishbowl. That's how I got started doing the tables, because I talked to Nick asked him if I could do like a show. And he's like, just do us a table or, give us something. So, since your artwork is going to be hung in here. So ever since then.
Yeah. Are there any other places that you've done work for that I might be overlooking?
I've painted a mural for SNS Candy and Cigar on the south side. It's like right behind the building. It's in the alleyway. And I've done one for Mad Noodles on the south side. It's like a couple doors down from SNS Candy and Cigar. A couple other places. Like some places, dude, they covered up like because, somebody wasn't,
Vibing?
Yeah, no, I mean, somebody wasn't paying their rent.
Oh, okay.
So a new restaurant came in and covered up like a mural, tabletops, and like took me like a couple years to do, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They just covered all of it up, bro.
That sucks.
It does suck.
Like, you don't respect art. Get the fuck out of here.
So, in general, it's just simple as just going out, talking to people, networking with businesses, and
but I do suck at marketing.
Yeah,
I suck at marketing.
Like in terms of just like being online and things like that. Or,
oh yeah, that too.
Yeah, you were a little bit hard to get a hold of. I mentioned that too. Like I had to find you through Ashley at Black Forge, who then eventually. But I don't think it just seems like you're kind of maybe not so much on the internet a whole lot.
No,
which is probably good.
A good thing.
And to be completely honest, but in the current climate, it is kind of difficult. I think, if you're somebody that's looking to monetize your art and get business, a lot of people are looking for people online.
Yeah.
You're right. So, I mean, I got to learn how to do it, man. But
so
it's just that I was never into like doing like on the computer and shit all the time. Like I don't even like, I go on the internet to listen to music, bro.
Yeah.
And like sometimes
I think it's hard, people like, because I'm in my 30s now, and I didn't grow up like there was no social media when I was in high school, so I'm not used to like this being the normal way to communicate with people. I've gotten more used to it over the past few years with just adapting. But there's a bunch of people that's like that's their whole fucking lives, and kids are coming up. It's like the normal fucking thing.
Yep.
So Dave, now with you as a business and the internet, how are you adapting social media and all that shit?
I'm the same as you, man. I'm in my 30s. I didn't grow up with any of this shit, but it's a giant marketing tool. I mean, something like Instagram, again, go back to like my artist and stuff with Joe. He drops off a painting. I'm instantly putting that shit on Instagram. It takes me 1 second. I mean, I'm just trying to get a nice clean shot. And even if it's just the sandwich of the day or new meat for the week, or who gives a shit? I do stupid little toys and funny shit just to get your attention. So I try to utilize it as much as I can, but I mean, I'm not good at it. I mean, it just exists, you know.
Well,
I just try to do it every week or so.
I think the only way you could be bad at social media is just by not posting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I mean, like, there's honestly like
or over posting.
Yeah,
if you're in somebody's face too much, you're like, man, I'm coming there or not. Leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah, yeah. There's some stuff that's like we get it, but you know what I mean. It's like I might be scrolling through, and I see like, oh, you got new pinball machines at Apis, and it's like, oh yeah, like pinball's cool and whatever, but we need to go back out to Apis. It's like one of those things where I'll turn over to Stacy and be like, you know, we got to go see Dave. It's been a while, you know,
just constant reminder,
like little reminders and things like that.
For sure.
Do you give into any of the like, we'll say the more like paid politics of social media? You don't do any of that shit?
No, not at all. Not on anything. That's like against our whole thing. If you come to our place organically, great. If you don't, sorry. You know, I'm not going to pay people to get it in front of you. You know, that just doesn't make any sense. If you're searching for the right people, the right products, the right place, you will find us. You'll find him. You'll find me. You'll find it. But if you're not looking, that's not really my fault. That's not my problem either. I mean, you know, you could always use more people to enjoy what you do in general, but to pay somebody else to do it seems like a ripoff to me. I mean, and then are those people really your fans? Are they organically coming to see you? No, they're not really about what you do.
Yeah, I don't know how much. I think there's
Right,
some. I mean, there's some potential advantage to, you know, paying to have your stuff put in front of eyes that might not normally see it.
Sure.
But for the most part, I just feel like, and I was talking about this earlier, I had a podcast before we did this one. I was talking about this with the last guest. So anybody that listened to the last episode, I'm sorry for repeating. But if you haven't listened, then you don't know what I'm talking about. There's a lot of people that are kind of like answering questions that nobody's asking.
Sure.
So it's like you're putting out this thing like, come check out my place, but nobody was actually looking for your place. So you're just throwing money out to put your product in front of people that they're not looking for. Yeah. They don't care.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of, you're wasting your money, you're wasting their time, and nobody's benefiting from it.
Yeah. And unless they're really wanting to try something new and are like seriously open-minded to that, they're not going to come back anyway. So what do you paid all that money to get somebody in, you broke even. Who cares? You didn't do anything good here, man. That's my opinion on it. I just don't see, to me, that's a waste of money. I just don't see. The goal for me, and I'll guarantee for you, is just to make it as good as I can so that it gets to as many people as possible. And if it gets to that level, hopefully it already has or will at some point soon, they're going to come regardless. They're going to look at this piece and they're going to love it. They're going to see it. They're going to drink it, eat it, want to feel it, want to take it home. I mean, that's art 101, right? So it works on its own. You don't need to pay people to get you there, I think.
Quality over quantity.
Absolutely.
Now with you, like in JOKTAN, like you don't have, you know, obviously you mentioned you don't mess with the internet a whole lot, but it seems like you understand like maybe some of the benefits that could come from it. Like say like an Instagram, I think would help. Do you have an Instagram account?
I don't. Not anymore.
No, not anymore.
Deleted it.
Oh yeah? Why'd you do that? Just too much to deal with, or just?
It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I don't know, dude. I'm not an internet person.
Yeah.
I just feel like a lot of people, they take that whole Instagram thing as like they like live their lives.
Oh yeah.
By it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like with the whole followers and following type shit, bro. Like, dude, it's really a game, right? I mean, because like, the more followers you have,
Just trying to level up. Yeah.
right?
Yeah, no, it's so interesting. Like I was like so interested.
Take it too serious, bro.
Oh yeah, I was so interested to talk to you because it's like one of those things where like I actually thought it was awesome how hard it was to get a hold of you. And then I like look at your art and you know what I mean? It's like there's just like who is this dude? Like what is this dude about? And it just seems like it comes from this really like authentic and like interesting but like dark place. And it's just like
Pretty much.
you know, like it's just wild to me, but it's cool. Just it's it's not common to come across a personality of your type in this generation that we're in, you know, because everybody's so much like, hey, like, it's like, I went and ate at Mad Noodles. There's a picture of my food. Check it out. Like, I'm cool. I'm part of society. You know what I mean? Versus that, it's just like, you know, you would probably spend fucking 3 months on a painting and not give a shit if anybody sees it. Like, on the internet.
Bro, I don't give a fuck about social media, bro. I really don't, bro. But I need it. I have to use it. You know what I mean? I don't give a fuck about the internet, bro.
So with these connections that you've made then, you know, working with local restaurants, is it just walking in on foot, old school, just talking to people there?
Pretty much. That's how I got pretty much a lot of the mural jobs that I've done. Just asking them. And sometimes, like the recent ones, well, the one at S&S Candy, I asked them if they wanted a mural painted. Like some restaurants, I would go and I'll ask them and they would tell me no. And I would go and I'll ask them once a week, sometimes twice a week.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm working on this mural up here up the street. You know, come check it out. Come see what I'm doing up here. I could, you know, do something to match with your restaurant. And then they're like, no, I'm good. Then later on, you know, a couple years later, then they're like, fuck it, let's do it. So, I mean, I don't let anybody, somebody tells me no, it is what it is, dude. Like, but I'm going to keep asking you.
Gotta get the right answer. It's not no.
That's understandable. So like with...
No is not an answer.
You know, with local arts and business. What's up? Oh, you're just...
Oh, no, in some situations, right?
Yeah.
In some situations. But as far as I'll say art is concerned, I think it's more of like art it's a lot of politics in art, dude.
Yeah.
There's a lot of it. And I don't know, maybe some people don't see that. Maybe some do.
Well, I think there's politics in everything.
Oh yeah, of course. You know what I mean? And then,
art's visual,
a lot of
in
people
your face, especially on a building on the south side, and that's in your face visual. That's very political. Like some people are just like, nope, and they may not even want to give you the time of the day just because they didn't see your art yet.
Right.
And they see, like you said, 3 blocks down the street. They're like, yeah, we could do that. You know, so you're selling it by actually selling it, showing it to them. You know.
You're right. Yeah, man. Art like anything else. You know, there's other people that do podcasts and other people that own breweries, and like you can't be worried about competing with people. If you're trying to compete with somebody, then like
you're gonna lose that.
You might as well just stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? You got to focus on yourself.
I think in terms of anything creative, if you think for a second that you're the only person that's doing what you're doing and you think that what you're doing is better than anybody else, you're out of your fucking mind. You're not that important.
You are, bro.
But there's so many resources out there where you can still have your own bubble and really succeed in your own world. Just keep your head at a reasonable size on your shoulders so you can still
produce the best you can every day. You know what I mean? It's everything you can do. That's all you should be trying to do.
Yeah, that was kind of something I was going to ask, you know, with being a business owner, being an artist, you know, how do you view your competition with other businesses and artists? Or do you really even view it as competition? It's just like you have your thing and they have theirs.
Yeah, no competition. There's nothing like that, really. I mean, the city's full of all kinds of stuff to do and see and whatever. So, like, are you competing with the art of the brick right now? No, it's not a thing. Like, they're going to see your art. They're going to see that art. I'm going to have 2 beers. You know what I mean? I'm going to see 2 paintings. I'm not going to pick and choose, like, or drink this bitch's brew for the rest of my life. No, there's no competition. You just do whatever you want. Everybody's going to have their own mindset on doing whatever they like. So who cares? Do the best you can, and you're just
real shit.
Just skate it out, you know?
Yeah. So with JOKTAN, with, you know, art now moving forward, is there any other stuff that you've been doing to monetize? I hate using that word, but it's fucking 2018. Is there anything you've been doing to, like, monetize or sell your art outside of working with local businesses and restaurants?
Not yet.
Not yet? No? You have any ideas? Have you, like, worked with any, like, maybe like working with local bands or working with
or a meadery or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple. I've met a couple bands, and I'm working on a album cover for one of my friends that I used to work with at the Carnegie Science Center. But you know,
yeah, just slow here and there.
yeah.
Type stuff.
I mean, but trying to.
It's like primarily, I guess that's the thing too, is like, what do you want to do? You know what I mean? Like as an artist or as a business owner, like it's one of those things where you start seeing all these other people doing things like, oh, like there's other artists and they're making t-shirts of their shit and they're doing this and that. And it's like, should I be doing that? I don't know. Is that actually what I'm about? Or am I just an artist? Am I just going to make paintings and that's it? You know, I think a lot of people sometimes they try to reach out too far and try to become something bigger than what they actually are. And they end up losing focus on what they're doing. You know what I mean?
You're right, man.
I don't know where you're at
I used to make t-shirts.
Yeah.
Like when I was in high school, I used to make t-shirts and match with people's Jordans and all types of shit, bro. But I just got out of it and I just started like, I got more into, I used to actually hate painting, bro. I couldn't stand it.
Really?
Yeah. I used to hate it, bro. I used to always work with ink pen and markers and.
It's a mixed media.
I met my mentor when I went to college. He's like, dude, you're really good, but I can show you some techniques with a paintbrush. Because when I looked at his art, I'm like, there's no way he painted this shit, bro. He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, all acrylic paint. I was like, all right, fuck it.
I've never been super, and I've always preferred markers over paint and stuff too. I don't know what it is, but I mean, I've done stuff with both. It's just.
I'm with you. If I'm doing something, it's mixed media. It's ink in line and some Prismacolor on top of it.
You paint too?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's up, man.
I didn't realize that you painted.
Yeah, sure. Well, more draw than anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the sign, the original sign at Apis, I made that myself. Like just handed, it's just like graffiti style. I even built it out of a Bondo from a car so it wouldn't like go away in the rain. And then just sprayed the shit out of it and painted it up. I mean, went to AIP for industrial design and shit like that, so.
That's
I
what's
used
up,
to tag
bro.
all kinds of shit, but I ain't gonna say that.
So
you're an artist and you got your own brewery.
Yep. Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
That's why it was so important to me from the get. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what I was going to get into. Was that makes sense then? That I didn't realize that you had an art background, so that makes sense that you would see the importance in that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Versus maybe somebody opening a restaurant with no artistic background.
To me, it's the combo. I mean, you walk into my place, my walls are full. I've got chalk art 10 foot wide. I've got 100 paintings in there somewhere. I mean, there's 6 foot bees on the walls and stuff like that. I mean, every single thing, even the signs are very specifically splattery, graffiti-esque. I mean, Stedman-esque, if you want to say that, something like that. So to me, it made a ton of sense to do it correctly. And, you know, like we use beeswax as all of our actually wax in bottles. We dye it black and it ends up splattering all over the place. So it just kind of fits that mold.
Yeah.
I could see that before we even started doing that. I'm like, this is what's going to happen. We'll make it look like we did that shit on purpose. You know what I mean? So it just worked out.
I remember like even before I met you or had been to the place, I had a buddy of mine that I worked with that went to Apis and like, he was like, man, you got to check this place out. It's really cool. And he had like a sticker or a card or something that he gave me. And I remember I had it like sitting around for a while and just seeing the logo. I was like, yeah, that place looks cool just because of the fucking logo.
I've handed that card to like a lot of people, but I've had seriously 20 people go, what are you, a graphic designer? They're not even reading the card. They're just looking at this card. I mean, it's a simple black and white card, but it sticks out, you know? But everything that little has to stick out. All the details have to be in your face only if you want to see them. You know, it's a detail-oriented game. I mean, if I see this label's beautiful. Look at this thing, man. I mean, that's crazy. Like,
yeah,
gotta match stuff like that. It has to stick out. You bought this on the shelf because of the name, because of the thing, because that's beautiful. Has to match, right? Everything has to match.
Whenever you are chatting with friends that are opening up spots, I don't know if this ever happens. Do you ever have that conversation with them about like branding or imaging, or you just kind of let people do what they want to do?
It just doesn't come up, to be honest. I mean, I have like a fairly extensive beer background, even though I own a winery at this moment, but usually people are talking to me just for maybe a little bit of insight or help on their first kind of venture
like
in this way.
Shit.
Yeah, and it's always about business and taxes and setting up a company and all that kind of bullshit. And it's never the fun part. It's never like how do we really market this and make it beautiful and get these people to really notice what we're doing just in a visual way. That never gets to that level for most people. I
mean,
don't think so.
Do you think that maybe that's something that should be brought up though?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, honestly, look around the breweries around here. Like, there's some that have some really, really stick out kind of stuff. I mean, you said Maggie's earlier. Like I said, that Queen Share label with just the bones. I mean, that's such a great image. That sticks out in my head forever. But there's a lot of just plain Jane, like, I see these dudes' Instagram videos and shit, and it's just like, what is that? Why is that a napkin holder? Is that the best image you got? Like, for your brewery, it's on a napkin holder? All right. That's fairly specifically one person, though. Sorry.
Yeah.
But it's like that. I mean, people just don't seem to really see that side of it, or maybe don't care, and that's fine. As long as your art's in the glass, too, I guess you can play it like that. But both sides of the coin is better to see. You know?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the thing, too, is, like, I don't want it to get twisted that, like, good branding or good art doesn't necessarily have to be, like, something that's crazy technically proficient.
No.
I think it's just about, like, putting your own voice into your product and making it something that's uniquely you.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, you take an artist like JOKTAN who does very detailed, like, high contrast work that's, like, very meticulous. But that might not be the right branding for somebody.
Sure. Yeah.
But, you know, maybe somebody might work off of just, like, some more simple, like, geometric type of art. But just the fact that you find that thing that works good for you and just go with it.
Yeah.
Like, if you think about, like, Abjuration, you know, like, all their art right now is just, like, very simple text, like, all, like, science-y stuff.
Yep,
but it's like they
beakers.
found an image and they fucking are going for it.
And you go there and they serve out of beakers and stuff, so it's actually pretty fitting. That's probably all they need. They don't need to go too much further with that. It looks great.
It's simple, but it's like, it's just finding your voice, like, finding the voice in your imaging that helps, like, really deliver the product that is your brand, or deliver your art, instead of just being like this voiceless thing.
That goes right back to that cohesive thing, though. I mean, everything does have to fit your branding, your image, your personality, or it's not going to be real. People realize what's fake for sure. They're going to see bullshit.
It's important to realize that, like, hey, you know what I mean? Like, if my art and myself
real.
if I'm not, like, somebody that's, like, a social media person, then let's just not fucking do it.
Yeah.
We don't need it.
Still clearly killing it, so what's the difference, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think you need it, but it's just not for me. I'd rather have somebody else do it.
Yeah, you could
if
do
somebody
that.
wants to. You know, I mean, but, like, I don't have a shit ton of money, dude.
Yeah.
To, like, pay somebody to, like, fucking, you know, like, manage my fucking social media, Instagram and Facebook and shit. Like, I don't have money to pay somebody to do that shit, bro. But, like, you do need it, but, like, whatever. Fuck it.
You get somebody smart enough, they'll make it so it's just like a weird hashtag, and then people will be out there finding it and doing it for you. Or they'll find you in Southside and be like, boom, then hashtag it on you, and it ends up being yours without any work. Minimal as fuck. That's what I would go for if I was you.
That's smart.
That way people see it, for sure. People see
I
it.
appreciate that.
Then people are going and looking for it. You know what I mean? They're like, oh shit, I'm going to find this, find that. And
it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got to find that person to help it get there. Though.
I do think, like, you know, I don't think for somebody like you or somebody like Raymer, for example, you know, Jeremy Raymer, he's been doing a lot of mural work in the city too.
That's the guy that did the Magneto?
Yeah, I think he did the Magneto.
That shit's hard, bro.
Yeah. He does he has a lot of stuff up around Lawrenceville. He did the front of my building where I work and stuff. But yeah, I don't know anything about him on social media. I've never seen any of his shit on social media. I just see it out because I'm out.
And Magneto's cold, bro. I swear.
And I think that those are people that are just like, and like the only reason I know about you is because I'm out and I see your fucking name on shit when I'm in places and I'm eating shit, you know? So I would just say just keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But obviously making sure you reach out to places that are opening up. I guess that's probably your best bet. Or maybe places that have been open for a little bit, maybe have a little capital to throw at some artwork and things like that.
Yeah. Oh man, dude. This whatever, I'm not gonna get into that.
No, man.
You just primed the thing.
You're cliffhanging us. What?
So I met this guy on the bus, right?
Okay.
So I guess they're shooting this movie downtown. I guess with Tom Hanks.
Yeah, the Mr. Rogers thing.
Yeah. So there's this restaurant downtown. It's like, oh, the movie, they're shooting a scene in in my restaurant. I met this guy on the bus. They're shooting a scene in me and my wife's restaurant. He's like, maybe he saw that painting right there, and he's like, maybe you could paint a mural, and your artwork will be in a movie. I'm like, all right, cool. Go down there, look at the wall. He's not there. His wife isn't there. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm like, give him a call, leave my phone number. He's like, when he told me, when I saw him on the bus, he's like, I need this done by October 2nd. What's today's date?
Like the 20th or something, or 14th.
Yeah.
Like, dude, don't waste my fucking time, bro.
Yeah.
I've had this happen to me, and this might be kind of what you're dealing with, where those people that are so focused on getting stuff done, it's like they're not actually looking at your art for what it is. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, you paint, I need a painting.
Yeah.
And they're not even connecting those dots, where it's like, oh, like you make music, I make music, like I need somebody to play at this thing. And it's like, you realize I'm in like a death metal band, right? Like just because I make music, like there's like these connections that just don't link up. And those people that are just doing so much stuff, they don't actually take the time to research the questions that they're asking.
Or
That's
truly
true.
love the art, yeah.
And he probably looked at my work and was probably like, after he thought about it, probably like, he's probably not going to be able to do what I'm asking him to do, but I don't really have a style. I mean, that's what I enjoy painting.
Yeah.
I've been doing shit like that since I was a kid, all that dark shit. But, like, I can do other things,
Yeah.
The mural for SNS Candy, that's a bunch of fucking gummy bears and lollipops and candy necklaces and shit. So,
And the stuff at El Burro is not like that either.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But, I don't know.
It's a matter of getting the work out there so people can see that you are versatile. But at the same time, it's like sometimes things aren't right. It's like I have friends that are tattoo artists that, really cater to a specific style, like a traditional style. And somebody will come to them and like, why can't you do this portrait for me? And it's like, well, I'm not a portrait artist, I do this other thing. And some people
especially
just
for ink, man.
They don't the difference between the two doesn't make sense for people that aren't artists. They just assume that because you are a tattoo artist, you can do any tattoo.
Right. Yeah.
And maybe the same time people assume because like you are a winery or whatever like that, you can make like any sort of thing, but it's like you have your own unique voice in what you do.
Sure.
That makes like you sure you could do these other styles of things, but it might not be like 100%.
Yeah, when you walk into my restaurant, it's my wheelhouse of products. We might put on a couple other local people, but that's just the support who supports me. I'm not going to go out and do some random shit. I'm sure I could do whatever, probably be okay at it. I'm sure you could do that mural and be fine at it. But that dude didn't connect those dots. He just said, painting, I need a painting. You do it by October 2nd, I come down tomorrow. And then he's like, fuck, I ran my mouth.
Yeah, like I said, dude, just don't waste my time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, got other shit I got to do too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. There's a lot of that. I don't want to call them time wasters. I just don't think they appreciate other people's time or understand what it's like for some people.
Yeah.
Like the amount of time that goes into, like say like if I'm doing an art thing for somebody or doing a video project for somebody, you know what I mean? It's just kind of like, if it takes me X amount of time to get something done, but I don't have it done in like a quick enough time, it's like they don't understand like what goes into like, oh, I gotta take this footage, I gotta import it, I gotta color correct it, we gotta edit it, then I'm gonna bounce you this thing, and it's like very, I don't know. I wish I had a more specific example to say, but there's people that aren't involved in the process generally don't understand how much really goes into it. You know what I mean? They're thinking about you showing up and painting. They're not thinking about you taking the time to like sketch out what you're going to be doing, thinking about what supplies you need. Oh, you don't have the supplies, so you got to go to the store, put money out of your pocket before you even get paid to pick up some supplies. You know what I mean? Like all these other little things. You know, transportation back and forth to places. Like people don't think about that. And that could be a couple $100 in several hours, like maybe a whole fucking day that they're completely overlooking.
Yeah, cutting some stencils, just get the right spray and shit like that. They're like, you just do it with your hand. No, cut this shit out of plastine and get a couple sprays so I can do it 5 times identical, you know? People don't know or care about that, man. Think you're going to do it with a little tiny brush. Yeah, do this fucking 8-foot wall with a tiny brush. You know? That's how it works.
So, like, JOKTAN, with you and we'll say aspiring artists or people out there that are looking to work with businesses or try to get clients, like what advice would you have for them?
I mean, I can only tell them what I did. I mean, I'm not some like famous artist, but I mean,
yeah, well, I mean, we'll put it this way. Like I'm really fucking busy.
Yeah.
I don't have my hands too deep in the underground of anything because I'm just so caught up in my own shit.
Yeah.
So chances are if something comes across my radar, it's because they're already established to a level that like I'm able to see it. So I would say you're established enough if somebody as busy as me can notice what you're doing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you are established. Maybe not, but I mean, hey, even me as an artist or maybe you as a business owner, it's like you always kind of want more. You don't want to be happy. I mean, you want to be happy, but you also want it to grow. You don't want things to plateau. Like you're always looking for more. So I think there's kind of like
bored as hell if it stops now.
That like self-defeating sort of thing in the back of your head. Like, you know, you gotta keep pushing, right?
Right.
But
right, man.
I don't want you to sell yourself short though. I think that like you're definitely killing it.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. You are too, man.
Well, thank you.
That painting is sick, bro.
Thank you. You're killing it too, Dave. Everybody's killing it.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate that.
But my
I
advice.
gotta come check out some of your work,
Definitely.
man. I gotta come check out some of your work, bro.
My advice.
It's nice.
What I think probably your advice through my brain, what I'm hearing from you is just like, don't be afraid to be told no.
Oh yeah, no. Don't ever be afraid. Like, dude, like.
And I think like face-to-face contact is really good too, instead of like trying to send emails or DMs and shit like that. Like meet people face-to-face, get a feel for them, get to know who they are.
I think it's better that way, man. In my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, you know, but I'm not really like.
Well, I
feel like you should have to, not have to, but like, you know, you should want to talk to somebody in person, you know, like to, you know, get an idea of what they want done and just get to know that person, whoever, you know, like, so it's like, okay, I kind of get a feel what this person is talking about and what they want painted on their wall. I kind of seeing who they are as a person. So like, I'm not just putting my own.
Yeah. And
right.
It sucks too, just waiting for emails like to come back to you. Like,
yeah,
you don't know, did this person fucking see this message? Like, are they even going to pay attention to this? Are they going to hit me back? But also, an interesting question I have for you. Have you ever walked into a place and, like, talked to somebody that ran a place and, like, met them and maybe, like, said, like, I don't even fucking want to work with this person after talking to them? Has that ever happened? You ever just get, like, a weird vibe from somebody?
Yeah, I have. Plenty of times. Plenty of times, but...
Does that stop you from going back in there?
Hell no. Bro, I come from a pretty bad neighborhood, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I've seen drive-by shootings happen right in front of my eyes.
Yeah.
I got shot, bro. Walking home from this girl's house I used to date. Like,
You're not worried about somebody saying no or being weird, no.
Nah. I honestly don't give a shit, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just going along. You know?
I feel you.
Yeah.
I feel you. Somebody saying no
Being
to
a passenger.
painting. Yeah,
What do you
definitely.
think about that?
Yeah, that's all right. Nothing wrong with that.
Right?
Yeah. Some of those people too, they just expect too much sometimes too. You know, you go in there and they're gonna be nitpicking all your shit the whole time. They're like, this is art. You don't tell me how to make art. I make art. And then that makes me an artist. This isn't color by numbers, motherfucker. Like, I'm doing what I want to do now.
Real talk, bro.
That's how it has to be, dude. So you can't take that no as a blanket anything. And you can't take some people as their weird first day. Maybe that dude was just high shit and nervous. I don't fucking know, you know? I don't know you, dude, you know?
I'm sure that, like, you, Dave, as a business owner, I'm sure, like, coming up, you probably had a lot of people saying no to you in different aspects of things, like trying to find locations. I'm sure there's a lot of politics and legal shit that goes into manufacturing alcohol.
Absolutely. Oh, even getting into the alcohol industry, you know? I mean, I've been doing this now for about 16 years, so there was like 4 big breweries around here. Try getting into those 4 breweries. Now there's like 35.
Yeah.
Now people are like, fine, you didn't want to hire me in 2000? I built one in 2015. I don't give a shit, you know? But yeah, you're always going to hear no matter what. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you're
right, man.
You could be at McDonald's and motherfucker's like, nope, we're out of chicken nuggets. Well, I guess I'll take a double cheeseburger today, motherfucker.
Right. Right, bro.
Just can't take that answer. It's not an answer to be given.
You have any advice for, like, people starting a business in terms of when it comes to branding and finding a voice and, like...
Be yourself. Be 100% exactly what you want it to be. If you see it in your head, make it come to as close as what you see to reality. Like, don't skimp and don't settle for shit. I mean, there's too many people. I think don't settle's
a big one.
Big time, right? A lot of people just, well, cool, I guess this sells better. We'll do it this way. Well, you just lost your vision. You lost your art, and you lost your biggest clients by doing that because you settled on some shit that nobody really loves. They all just kind of like it. You know, you get to the epitome of your career by being yourself, doing the best work you can, and then you'll see that pinnacle just be like, now you have those fans because they've seen how great it all could be, you know? Not just talking about myself, talking about every artist on the earth, right? I mean, just be your damn self, right? That's it.
It's crazy, just like, it's interesting because, like, I can sit down in a certain restaurant and I just feel the environment just feels like weird, like fake. Something feels off to me sometimes. A certain place I go into, you know what I mean?
Cookie cutter or so.
And it's just like, it's like I don't feel.
That's funny as hell.
I don't feel like comfortable being here. Maybe I'm just over analyzing it, but I could tell if I'm like in a place that's bullshit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, it's cookie cutter. You rented a box, put some whatever in the back of the box, you put some seats in the front of the box, and hope people come and visit your stupid looking box. Nobody cares. I mean, everybody. I'm guilty of that shit myself. I'm just saying, like, if it doesn't have heart behind it, you see it a mile away, especially when you're talking about what we've been talking about. Art, imagery, marketing, promoting that kind of, visual aspect of life. And I mean, I don't know. Concrete's gray. I'm not staring at that all day. So let's make something pretty. Spray on the concrete, you know?
Yeah. Dave, how much art do you still do these days?
None. I don't have time to do anything. So I'm just being honest. I don't have the chance to do nothing. I mean, I write a little bit here and there. Just to kind of relax my brain, I guess, in a way. It gets the shit out that I can't really vent to other people maybe. But
yeah,
as far as like actual art, design, imagery, I don't really get to do nothing. I do a lot of computer shit. I'm the opposite of him. I do a lot of just like, putting together posters for this event and that event.
It seems like most of the art stuff that you're doing is a result of the business.
It 100% is. And that's, it's boring. So I'm going to leave it there. It's fun and I enjoy it to an extent, but it's not for me as a release. It's just for, monetizing bullshit.
Yeah. Just promoting, keeping it afloat, keeping people know what's going on.
Yeah. Before the company, man, I was heavy into it. Still got a ton of stuff and everything laying around, but I just don't have, that thing took over my life in the past, 4 or so years.
Yeah.
So.
JOKTAN, do you do anything outside of painting? You have any like other hobbies or interests, or is this pretty much it?
That's it, bro. I've been doing it my entire life, man.
Yeah.
I still got a binder full of artwork I did from fucking first grade all the way to like a couple years after I graduated from high school, bro. Tons of drawings, bro.
It's awesome, man.
But, you know, I mean, like, I don't have a problem with, like, you know, like, I've worked in restaurants. I've cleaned toilets. I've done all, you know, had plenty of jobs, bro. Like, but, like, it's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel like a machine. I'd rather be a machine to my art than, right?
Yeah, it's well said.
Absolutely.
Living somebody else's dream. You know what I mean? It's just me, bro. I mean, which I'm sure is a lot of other people too.
I don't think anybody.
Everybody.
I don't think anybody goes through the trouble of opening their own business unless they have their own fucking thing they want to do. You know?
Seriously,
Obviously,
man.
yeah. And I still work every day. All
Yeah.
day, you know, and I don't love 90% of it. I love the 10% brewing and the art part of it. That's it. The rest is just business.
But at least, you know, like most of the time, there's kind of a comfort where you not that it's not to say like that you're your own boss, because that's kind of cliche to say.
Sure.
But it's more or less like, you know, if there's something goes wrong, you know, you're kind of the person to blame. But it feels good in a way because it helps you better yourself, instead of being one of those situations where if you work for somebody else and, you know, somebody else fucks something up, it's like, oh well, it's not my fucking place. I don't own this place. Fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Having that mentality, like in something you do every day where like what you're doing isn't important to you and it's just about making money, like that's like hella unhealthy.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it just makes you start not caring about anything in your life. It, like that attitude seeps into everything else.
That was one of the biggest proponents for me opening Apis, really, because everywhere I was, everybody was just kind of just there. They weren't really. We were just zombies, dude. And nobody really gave a shit. Like you'd see the 5 people, you know, the 2 owners or whatever, and the 2 or 3 other employees that like really, really, really gave a shit or just were there for that time so they could go back home to their kids and be happy with it. But yeah, I had to get out of that kind of business. I'm like, I just don't. And I don't even talk about anybody specific. Just like literally I had like 15, 16 jobs in my life, and just after I'm not learning anything about this job anymore, I'm like, I don't know what you want here. Everybody here is just unhappy, and I've got to leave, man. Like, you don't know what to do. I don't know what you want from me, man.
Yeah. Moving forward, you know, if you haven't been out to Apis, Dave, can you drop that address where people can find you?
206 Mary Street, Carnegie, PA, at Apis Mead, apismead.com. You can find us there. Not too far from center of the city, 15 minutes from downtown.
And JOKTAN. I don't know where can people find you?
Funny as fuck, man.
On Instagram at #JOKTAN.
I mean, you can find me at, Black Forge.
Yeah.
It's my shit right there, bro. Black Forge is the shit, bro. They let me, that's the only place out of all the murals and stuff that I've ever done, the only place that allows me to do what I actually like to do, right?
Yeah.
And be creative and create my own, you know what I mean? Come up with my own characters and do the stuff that I've been doing since I was a kid, bro. That's what I enjoy doing. You know what I
You've
mean?
done some classes and things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit? If you want to.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy teaching. I feel like anybody, like a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people tell me like, oh, I wish I could paint like, paint how you can paint. I'm like, you can. You just got to put the time in. A lot of people don't have the time, because they have, I don't know what people do and, right? I don't know what people do, right? You have a job, you might have a family, you have other things.
You might have an
take care
Instagram
of.
account.
Right.
Sucks up too much time.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I probably need to start one again, But,
If anything, man, I would definitely suggest it just because it's so visual.
right.
I don't think you need to get super in depth with it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Just post some art up on it and then let it go. You don't
Right.
got to be too involved in it. You don't
No,
gotta,
you're right, man.
You don't got to dig into the feeds. You don't got to follow one fucking person if you don't want to. Just make it. and post the art. So if people are looking for stuff, they can at least find it.
Right. You're right, man. You're right, bro.
But if you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I probably should. You know what I mean? It is 2018. I am kind of like.
It's gonna be 2019 soon.
I am kind of like living in like the what?
1992.
Yeah, probably. I'm like my mind. I'm still there. I need to be here. You know what I mean? So I got to do it.
Do you do the art classes regularly, or is it just kind of like every once in a while?
I'm probably going to have to talk to Ashley and Nick about that to see.
You were doing it at Black Forge, right?
Yeah, because I was doing it at Black Forge. I'm going to have to see if they want me to, do the classes again because I only did it for, I think it was maybe like 5 or 6 months maybe.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have to ask them if they want me to do the classes again for like this, for the end of this year and like, a couple months in the beginning of next year. Maybe, we'll see. If they agree to it, then...
Word?
Right? I'm sure they don't give a shit, though.
I'm sure they'd be down to have you.
Yeah.
And, so my thoughts on everything are that, I think there are a lot of great artists in the city that don't have work and a lot of great businesses in the city that could use some good art. So I hope if you're somebody that is on either side of the spectrum, you absorb some knowledge and, don't be afraid to ask people for help. Don't be afraid to say no or hear somebody say no to you. And, find your voice and get that art out there. And no. I want to see more of this independent business and independent entrepreneurship continue to evolve and just grow. It's not in a bad place by any means right now, but I think that these conversations are things that people need to talk about and things that people need to think about some more.
You're right, man.
Yeah. Just me being somebody that's kind of, I've done art with different businesses and I know a lot of people that own places and I'm always trying to connect these dots and it just seems like natural to me, but I have that artist background.
Sure.
So
I mean, you hit it on the head too with the people don't want to ask for help. People don't want to, they see what you do, they see what you could do, and they don't really want to, nobody wants to ask for help. But yeah, I'm guilty of it. I think we're all guilty of it. Nobody says, oh man, I could really use this and you do this really good. Like you said, it goes back to, well, maybe I could just do it myself or whatever. And you're not the best person for it. Just do what you do great and then get somebody else to do what they do great. And you'll make your money doing what you do. They'll make their money doing what they do. And then everybody's actually doing it. And all your stuff becomes better and better and better because you're utilizing each other's talents. But people are afraid to ask constantly. You meet new people and just, good to meet you. All right, peace. You're out. All you had to say was, hey, just come over sometime. Look at this thing, right? Just see what you can do, what I can do, what we can do together. People just don't want to do it sometimes. It's a little bit more work, I guess, but what the fuck else you doing? Wasting all your time on Instagram. It's true though, right?
I mean, swear.
Yeah, I think that in the interesting thing with this culture, it just seems like it's a whole lot of a lot of people want to. I don't know why people are afraid to ask for help on things. I don't know if it's that they're afraid to ask for help or more or less they just want the credit of being able to say that they did something 110% themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody can say that, bro.
Nope.
Nobody can ever say that they have gotten to where they are, right? I don't care how much money you have, what you don't have, right?
Yeah.
It's like I said, I don't think I'm a like, dude, I don't have shit, bro. You know what I mean? But I've had family members, friends, people help me. If I needed to go to a place to get a mural done, I asked one of my family members, give him a couple bucks when I finished the job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nobody can ever say they did anything on their own, dude.
No. Never, no matter what. No
Right?
matter what, yeah.
So
Even if it's just support of your girl or your buddies or your family or whatever, I mean, that's still the support that you needed to push you to get out of bed and finish that job or start the damn job, you know? You didn't do it yourself. You had somebody to support you.
Another interesting thing too is like, and I'm gonna look through these in a moment. I'm just chatting with being a business owner and working with artists, right? I think that sometimes somebody might see the importance in or the value in working with an artist,
Sure.
but maybe they don't want to pay a certain amount of money, you know? So they're they only want to pay so much money. It's like going to a really good tattoo artist and like, oh, they're too expensive. So you go and get somebody that's not as good or that will do it for less to do the same thing. And it's kind of like, well, you get what you pay for.
Yes.
Type of thing, you know? And I don't...
If you want to eat a Golden Corral, do it, dude.
Yeah, I think that...
Fucking steak there.
I think that some people need to, in the long run, realize that like even if an artist might be asking for more money than they might be comfortable spending, it's like chances are it's not that much more than what somebody else is going to be willing to do it for.
Yeah,
it's kind of a thing.
It's on your body for life. It's quality. Come on, do the right thing.
There's a lot of like bar venues that won't invest in new sound systems.
Yep.
It's like you only need like $1,500. You're probably making that in a weekend.
You should make that.
Yeah, you know, like why don't you just take that money from one night, improve that, and then in essence you improve the whole atmosphere, the whole place, and more people will feel comfortable fucking being there.
Yeah, pony it up and make it off that first couple events that you use it for, and then you'll be known for those better events because it sounds better, looks better, whatever your upgrade was. I mean, but people...
Yeah, I don't know. It
depends on the venue. Right?
You have a venue that sounds great. People and bands that are like that have their shit together are going to be like, "Yo, you got to play at this place. The stage is awesome. It sounds great." Then you end up having better talent come through your doors, and the better talent brings more people, and it's a domino effect of things.
That should be every aspect. That should be the art on the walls, the cleanliness of your kitchen, the cleanliness of your bathroom, the front door, the everything, you know, especially sound, especially when it's the entertainment of the area. I mean, no matter what it is, I mean, it just should be constantly kind of put back into an extent where you're constantly upgrading and giving it back to the people who like it.
Yeah.
I mean, your consumer should be the number one. I mean, you still have to turn a profit to pay your bills, but just keep making it better and better. I mean, until you have a fucking gem. You know what I mean? Just keep polishing that bitch till it shines.
Word. So I think that's it. We did it. We did a thing. I'm gonna do my outro, and then I don't know. I'll turn off the microphones and the cameras, and we'll finish this meet and just bullshit for a little bit. Cool. That'll be it. Word. And that is all, folks. Thanks so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. Hope you learned something. Dave, Apis, go check him out. He dropped his information before. JOKTAN, look around for him. He's around.
It's on walls.
He's on walls. He's where he needs to be.
On tables.
Black Forge, Mad Noodles. Those are some of the places. Well, I got a couple pieces hanging up. I probably got maybe 14 pieces hanging up in Mad Noodles right now. My friends own that restaurant. They let me run the art shows out of there. But
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So go check out that stuff. And I'll be back again next week with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Sikes. Start the beat. 2018. Whoopity fucking whoop. That's all, folks. Goodbye. Thanks for listening.